Well, we continue with the broadcast this morning on this day of Friday. Jummah Mubarak to one and all. If you have just tuned in, we trust and hope you're going to have a wonderful Jummah, inshallah, a spiritually uplifting Jummah, filled with the mercy and the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and gives us an opportunity to come even closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we are coming to you live this morning out of the Johannesburg Expo Center out in Nasrec. It is the 55th African National Conference, elective conference, and we will still continue with normal programming from here as well. And right now we are looking at the Qurtuba online academy, and we are speaking with Qari Yusuf Osman of the Qurtuba Online Academy. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the Qurtuba Online Academy, it is a global online Islamic school that offers camps and international curricula, as well as an online madrasa from grade R to 12. Qari Yusuf, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jummah Mubarak to you and welcome.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brother Inayat, Jazakumullahu khairan. Jummah Mubarak to you and to all the listeners as well.
Yes, Qari Sahab, let's talk about a little bit about Qurtuba Online Academy and your role in particular.
Alhamdulillah, we've had the great fortune of being part of the Qurtuba Online Academy team since the year 2020. And my role specifically actually deals with teaching Quran, surahs and du'as, as well as other Islamic studies subjects to our dear students. And Alhamdulillah, this is something that has actually taken off greatly. I know it started during the era of COVID, and that kind of paved the way for us in terms of the online institute and the online or e-learning. And Alhamdulillah, things have just grown exponentially from there. And it is only through the grace and assistance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, coupled with the efforts of a great team that we have.
Yes. Now, Qari Sahab, for many of us who've actually grown up in attending what is called a traditional madrasa setup, the post face-to-face, you've got your ustad, you've got your classroom, you've got your fellow students, your fellow learners with you. Clearly, it is a very, very different experience as far as online madrasa is concerned. And just looking at Islamic studies and Quran being taught in an online setting, perhaps you could just expand on that.
So what we endeavor to do at Qurtuba Online Academy is to try and create as much of a natural experience as possible for our students and for teachers as well. So whatever you would regularly experience in a normal or traditional classroom setting, we try to incorporate that within the virtual environment, as well as using creative techniques and things that are sort of out of the box in terms of the edtech tools that teachers are very creatively using. We've got quite a bit in terms of heading toward gamification and so on. And but like I say, the idea is to try and create that experience where it actually feels natural to learn in an online setting, even though you are merely sitting behind the screen or in front of a screen. And the way in which that is done is, like I say, by using the various edtech tools, and once again, to just be as interactive with our learners as possible. At the end of the day, we believe that learning is something that is done more efficiently when our learners are actually being interacted with. I would say 80% of the time, at least during a lesson, instead of the ustad or ustada sitting in the front or standing in the front and really just passing on whatever they are trying to teach, and the students are there just trying to take in all the information. Rather, it's meant to be an experience where they can actually learn as they go along, and it's something that our teachers really, really are enjoying, alhamdulillah. And I think overall we've got very good recommendations and very good feedback from the students and parents as well.
Well, just listening to what you say, I'm sure they're very, very well equipped, because you speak about that interaction, but also at the same time to make sure that the learners maintain the interest, and on the side they're not catching up to other tricks, because this is online. And I'm sure the ustads or the ustadas are very well equipped to ensure that that level of interest is maintained all the time.
Undoubtedly. Essentially, look, you are going to have your pros and cons as you would have in a traditional classroom setting, where you've got to sort of maintain discipline in a certain way. Being a student, you've got to come in with a mindset as if you are going to school. It would make all the difference in the world, as opposed to a student waking up 5 minutes before a lesson and then joining in from the comfort of their bed, or while they busy messing their coffee or their tea or their cereal in the morning. So obviously that is something that we encourage, and that's where the discipline at home plays a big role. So you find that actually parents have created workstations for their children. So it's like a dedicated workspace in the home. And the child will wake up in the morning as is they would normally wake up if they were going to a traditional school, and they would make their way to that particular workspace as if they are going to school. And like I say, it's about maybe dressing in a certain way, having a certain appearance about yourself. Yes, it might not be as strict as being in a specific uniform, and having that level of strictness in terms of what is asked for in a traditional school, but still to have or to come into that mindset. That is something that we've actually seen parents and students getting into. And once they are in that mode of learning, alhamdulillah, it works wonders after that.
Yes. What about social interaction between the learners, Carissa?
A very good question, and often a great concern among parents, especially parents that are interested, but often they get put down because they feel that, what, my child is only in front or behind the screen. I don't see them interacting, or I don't find it that they're going to be mixing with any types of colleagues, and this is going to obviously inhibit various social interaction qualities and aspects. But Alhamdulillah, I must say that even though we are a fully online academy, we have tried to integrate the social interaction by way of the day camps that we host at least once or twice a year in the major cities of our country. Inshallah, we grow to the point where I can say one day we will be having these types of day camps in major cities of the world. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. And what would normally happen during these day camps would be team building activities, a chance for learners to get to know their teachers on a more personal basis, putting faces to names now, putting faces to voices. And that has happened quite amazingly well from the year 2020. From our inception, we actually have hosted a number of day camps in the various cities. And with that also, we have tried to incorporate what we call virtual clubs. And this, I'm sure, would bring us to our next topic of discussion. So as you would have in a traditional school, you have the book club, you have the archery club, a soccer club, cricket club, and so on. We've tried to create that on a virtual platform. And once that was created, the idea was to also have meetups every now and again, so that students could have a more physical interaction with that particular club, and to gain more of the physical abilities within that particular club. Alhamdulillah, we, myself, when I say we, myself and Qari Muhammad Zahir Zardad, one of the head teachers of Quran in our academy, we are very lucky to have him among our team. We have embarked on what is called the Qira'ah and Anashid Club. So this is to try and pass on the ways of expression, the ways that a person can try and improve their recitation by means of tone and so on, and at the same time exploring the Anashid world. And Alhamdulillah, this was actually a stepping stone to the Qira'ah competition that we held just 2 weeks ago.
Yes, and just talking about the Nasheed Club as well. I find that to be a very interesting concept. In comparison, like you say, there are many sporting codes and sporting clubs, and this is quite unique, I would say, where I think the first time, and I've heard of a Nasheed Club, but clearly, I'm sure that is very, very inspirational.
Look, it's at the end of the day trying to create alternatives for what we find out there in the world. I mean, we know what our learners and what our children are actually facing on a daily basis when it comes to their TikTok videos and various social media platforms. And you've got the negative influence of music and so on. And we know that is not something that is accepted in our Sharia. So this is something that is creating or trying to create an enthusiasm within them. It's about lighting that flame within them of trying to love the praise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the praise of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the manner of reciting the Quran in a beautiful way, so that this is something that they can actually progress in, and it is something that can take them away from what is unfortunately becoming the norm and against Sharia in the form of music and dancing and all of these types of unethical and illegal things in Islam.
Qari Yusuf, how did the Kirat competition go last week?
Oh, it was lovely. It was absolutely lovely. Alhamdulillah. A few teething problems, undoubtedly, it being our first one. We actually held it in two formats. We had the preliminary round initially, where students had entered and they basically had to fill in a form and to show their interest in entering the competition. Participants then submitted a recording that went through an adjudicating and listening process, and our finalists were then selected from there. Alhamdulillah, the attendance and the once again the zeal that our students showed by attending this function from different parts of the country. It was held in Lindro Park in Sandton at the Qurtuba Convention Center, but we actually had students from as far as areas in KZN and as far as Cape Town as well, where they flew in or they drove in specifically and specially for this afternoon that we had. And this was really, really heartwarming to see. Alhamdulillah, once again, going back to the point that I was speaking of earlier, that lighting the flame within them for the love of the Quran. And undoubtedly, this program proved to be a magnet for them. Alhamdulillah, it was a successful event. We had various participants and we had guest adjudicators at the same time. And I must say that we were also fortunate to host a ladies only event where our sisters, our dear students, our female students had the opportunity and the platform to recite. And that was adjudicated by our proficient female adjudicators that we had. Our Qurtuba online team, our Quran team, and Islamiyat team were hands on with assistance, and I can only thank them greatly from the bottom of my heart. This is all what really contributed to a successful event. We are definitely indebted to our managing director, that is an awesome leader in the form of Maulana Zaki Fauda, and we have lots of thanks to give to the management team and those that had actually made the event possible. Alhamdulillah, it was superbly successful.
Yes, Karisab, Jazakallah khairan so much for that and for your time with us this morning. It's just amazing. So much has changed since the COVID era, but in terms of creating, becoming creative, becoming innovative with an online academy, and Alhamdulillah, just looking at all the positives that have come out of it, the reward. It's a very, very rewarding experience, I must say, and for people obviously interested at enrolling at the Qurtuba Online Academy, I suppose all the information is on your website.
Yes, I always direct people to our website. It is a wealth of information a person can find there, www.qurtubaonline.co.za. And obviously, you are welcome to call in to the office, and our admin and support staff, support agents will be happy to assist you with whatever queries and questions you have pertaining to the academy as well as registrations. Alhamdulillah, our registrations are open for from the ECD, early childhood development grades, the grades double R right up until matric. And we look forward to, inshallah, like I say, more growth, and we look forward to more, what do you call this, more applicants and more students coming into our academy, inshallah. Our doors are open for everyone. And inshallah, we hope for the best. Undoubtedly, we rest our efforts within the help and the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Well, Qari Yusuf, Jazakallah khairan so much for that, for your time. Have yourself a wonderful Jummah, inshallah. And we do appreciate your time with us this morning, right here on Salam Media. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and jazakumullahu khairan for the opportunity. Barakallahu feekum.
Qari Yusuf Osman with us, the Qurtuba Online Academy. Another break, and we'll be back. We will be focusing on the day of reconciliation.